Hello everyone. And welcome back once again to another interesting video. In today's video we'll discuss a comparison between Flask and Django Rest Framework, exploring their design philosophies, features, and use cases. So if you are ready, let's start today's video. Flask and Django Rest Framework or DRF are both popular choices for building web applications and APIs in the Python ecosystem. While Flask is a micro-framework that provides flexibility and simplicity, Django Rest Framework is built on top of the Django Web Framework, offering a more comprehensive solution for building RESTful APIs. In this comparison, we'll explore various aspects of both frameworks, including architecture, ease of use, flexibility, performance, and community support. Flask overview. Flask, developed by Armin Ronascher, is a micro-framework for Python designed to be lightweight and modular. It follows the WSGI or Web Server Gateway Interface standard, allowing developers to choose components for building web applications. Flask provides the essentials for web development, leaving other components and extensions to the developer's discretion. Flask's architecture and design philosophy. Flask's architecture is minimalist, and its design philosophy revolves around simplicity and extensibility. It provides a foundation for web development, allowing developers to choose the components they need for their specific project. This flexibility is beneficial for small to medium-sized projects where a modular approach is preferred. Ease of use. One of Flask's key strengths is its simplicity and ease of use. Developers can quickly get started with a basic application, and the learning curve is relatively shallow. Flask provides a clean and intuitive API, making it an excellent choice for beginners and those who prefer a straightforward development experience. Flexibility. Flask's micro-framework nature provides developers with the freedom to choose libraries, databases, and other components according to their project requirements. While this flexibility is advantageous, it also means that developers need to make more decisions on their own, which can be both a pro and a con depending on the project's complexity and the developer's experience. Performance. Due to its minimalistic design, Flask can be more performant in certain scenarios, especially when compared to larger frameworks. However, the actual performance depends on the specific components and libraries chosen by the developer. Flask's lightweight nature makes it suitable for projects where performance is a critical factor. Community and ecosystem. Flask has a vibrant and active community, contributing to a wide range of extensions and third-party libraries. While the ecosystem may not be as extensive as Django's, Flask's community-driven development ensures that developers have access to a variety of tools and resources to enhance their projects. Django Rest Framework overview. Django Rest Framework, an extension of the Django Web Framework, is a powerful and feature-rich toolkit for building web APIs. It provides a set of tools for quickly building robust APIs on top of the Django framework, making it a preferred choice for large-scale and enterprise-level projects. DRF's architecture and design philosophy. Django Rest Framework builds on the design principles of Django, emphasizing the "don't repeat yourself" or dry and convention over configuration principles. It adopts a more opinionated approach compared to Flask, providing a set structure for building APIs. This can be advantageous for developers who prefer a framework that makes certain decisions for them, leading to a consistent and standardized codebase. Ease of use. While Django Rest Framework introduces more conventions and structure compared to Flask, it remains user-friendly and comes with extensive documentation. Developers familiar with Django will find it easy to transition to DRF. However, beginners may experience a steeper learning curve due to the additional features and concepts introduced by the framework. Flexibility. Django Rest Framework offers a good balance between convention and flexibility. While it enforces certain patterns and practices, developers still have the freedom to customize and extend functionality as needed. The batteries included philosophy of Django can be advantageous for large projects where a standardized approach is desirable. Performance. Django Rest Framework may introduce some overhead due to its comprehensive feature set and conventions. However, the impact on performance is often negligible for many applications. The framework's performance is more than sufficient for handling the demands of most projects, especially when optimized and scaled properly. Community and ecosystem. Django Rest Framework benefits from the vast Django community and ecosystem. The Django community has a long history of supporting and contributing to a wide range of packages and extensions. This wealth of resources can be a significant advantage for developers working on complex projects that require integrations with various tools and services. Feature comparison between Flask and Django Rest Framework. 1. Routing and views. Flask, developers explicitly define routes and views, providing complete control over the URL structure and request handling. This can be advantageous for projects with specific routing requirements. Django Rest Framework uses a class-based view system and automatic URL routing, reducing boilerplate code. This approach encourages a more organized and maintainable code structure. 2. Serialization. Flask, serialization is typically handled using libraries like Marshmallow. Developers have the flexibility to choose the serialization library that best fits their needs. Django Rest Framework provides a powerful and flexible serialization system out of the box. Serializers help transform complex data types, such as Django models, into native Python data types that can be easily converted to JSON or other formats. 3. Authentication and authorization. Flask requires developers to implement authentication and authorization mechanisms manually or choose from various third-party extensions. This flexibility allows for a tailored approach but requires more effort. Django Rest Framework comes with built-in authentication classes and pluggable authorization policies. This simplifies the implementation of secure and standards-compliant authentication and authorization systems. 4. ORM and database. Flask, developers can choose any ORM or object relational mapping library, such as SQL Alchemy, or work with databases directly. This flexibility is beneficial for projects that have specific database requirements. Django Rest Framework, built on top of the Django ORM, providing a high-level abstraction for database operations. This integration simplifies database interactions and allows for seamless integration with Django models. 5. Admin interface. Flask does not provide a built-in admin interface. Developers may need to implement their admin panels or use third-party extensions. Django Rest Framework inherits the Django admin interface, allowing developers to manage API data through a feature-rich and customizable admin panel. 6. Testing. Flask leaves testing choices to developers, who can use any testing library or framework based on their preferences. Django Rest Framework comes with a robust testing framework that simplifies the testing process, providing tools for testing API endpoints, serializers, and authentication. Use cases of Flask and Django Rest Framework. Flask use cases. 1. Microservices. Flask's lightweight and modular design make it well suited for building microservices, where each component can be developed and deployed independently. 2. Prototyping and small projects. Flask is an excellent choice for quickly prototyping ideas or building small to medium-sized projects where simplicity and flexibility are prioritized. 3. RESTful APIs. Flask is widely used for building RESTful APIs due to its simplicity and the ability to choose components based on specific API requirements. Django Rest Framework use cases. 1. Large-scale applications. Django Rest Framework is ideal for large-scale applications and projects where a standardized and opinionated approach is advantageous for maintaining code quality and consistency. 2. Enterprise-level APIs. The comprehensive feature set of Django Rest Framework, combined with the Django framework stability, makes it a strong candidate for building APIs in enterprise environments. 3. Integrated web applications. Projects that require a tightly integrated web application and API can benefit from Django Rest Framework's seamless integration with the Django Web Framework. Conclusion. In conclusion, both Flask and Django Rest Framework are powerful tools with their own strengths and weaknesses. The choice between the two depends on the specific requirements of the project and the preferences of the development team. Flask's simplicity and flexibility make it an excellent choice for small to medium-sized projects, especially when a microservices architecture is preferred. Developers who value complete control over the components and want to make explicit decisions about the project structure may find Flask to be the right fit. On the other hand, Django Rest Framework offers a more opinionated approach, making it well-suited for larger projects and enterprise-level applications. The framework's built-in features, such as serialization, authentication, and the Django ORM, streamline development and contribute to a standardized and maintainable codebase. Ultimately, the decision between Flask and Django Rest Framework should be based on factors such as project size, complexity, development team expertise, and the desired level of framework opinionation. Both frameworks have thriving communities, extensive documentation, and a rich ecosystem of extensions, ensuring that developers have the support and resources needed to build successful web applications and APIs. That's all for this video. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell for more content, so you don't miss any upcoming video. And, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring and keep coding. Thanks for watching, and happy coding.